memory in our public care. We will now have our presentation of colors, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. We will now have our national anthem sung by Officer Chris Reza.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Mr. Tony Zapata will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Veterans have recovered. Use the proper salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order! On! First Sergeant, permission to post the colors. Thank you, First Sergeant. Post the colors. Right. Right. Face. Oh, one. Right. One, two. One.
Let's give him a big hand to him.
Thank you very much. We will now have our invocation by Monsignor John Woolley from Our Lady of Rosary of Tapa Church.
Good morning. Buenos dias. This prayer was composed by Father John, not this Father John, but Father John Veltri of the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits. He passed on to the Lord in the year 2008. It's called With Gratitude and Honor. Gracious God, on this Memorial Day, we remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in the service of our country, especially those from the Mexican-American community. When the need was greatest, they stepped forward and did their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy. and to win the same for others. O God, you yourself have taught us that no love is greater than that which gives itself for another. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself, for loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, and for us. Help us to honor their memory by caring for their family members they have left behind, by ensuring that their wounded comrades are properly cared for, and by being watchful caretakers of the freedoms for which they gave their lives, and by demanding that no other young men and women follow them to a soldier's grave unless the reason is worthy and the cause is just. Holy One, help us to remember that freedom is not free. There are times when its cost is indeed dear. Never let us forget those who paid so terrible a price to ensure that freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Help us to be worthy of their sacrifice. O God, help us to be worthy. Amen.
Amen.
I would now like to bring up our Senator, Ms. Marilena Durazo, born the 7th of 11 children to migrant farm worker parents. Marilena traveled with her family across California and Oregon and witnessed firsthand the hardships of migrant labor. She graduated from St. Mary's College in 1975, joined the Chicano movement, and began her career as a union organizer in the International Ladies Garment Workers Union. While organizing, she earned a law degree from the People's College of Law in 1985. And in 1987, she led a successful rank-and-file drive that transformed here, Local 11, with bilingual services and a stop-shop steward system. She went on to serve Executive Vice President of Unite Here, Vice Chair of the DNC, and National Co-Chair of Barack Obama's 2008 campaign. And from 2006 to 2014, was the first woman Secretary-Treasurer of the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor, a civic leader as well. She has served on numerous commissions. She and the late union leader organizer, Miguel Contreras, are parents to 2 sons, Mario and Michael. Please help me welcome Senator Marilena Durazo.
Well, good morning. Buenos dias. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm so glad. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to all the organizers who put this together. It's really wonderful that we can just get here and it's all set up for us, but there was enormous amount of work, and so we should acknowledge them, starting with Tony Zapata, with our MC Jenny Guerrero, with Council Member Isabel Jurado, and I'm gonna name a few more because you really gotta know who put a lot of energy, a lot of time. Garfield High School JROTC, the Detective Chris Reza, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1013, American Legion Post 804, the MCL Detachment 1347, Eddie Morin, Vidal Herrera, Joe Diaz, and Cristina Romero. Let's give them a real round of applause. Show our gratitude for all their enormous hard work. I just want to start out by saying I come from a family of 4 veterans, starting with my father who came here from Mexico. He worked in the fields, but he volunteered. He wanted to show his appreciation to this great nation. My brother Al, who served in Vietnam, and my sister Elizabeth in the Army, and my brother John in the Air Force. From them, I learned that Memorial Day is about more than heroism. Today is about the weight of loss. The mothers who folded flags instead of holding their sons and daughters, the dreams that died away so that we here might dream freely. In our working class community, military service has always meant more than duty to country. Our fallen fought not just for democracy abroad, but for democracy at home. The young men and women we honor came from neighborhoods like this one, from familias who worked in fields and factories. They were born here to immigrant parents, or they were born in another country, yet were willing to sacrifice for this nation. They carry values of family, hard work, and respeto. Respeto por la comunidad, respeto por servicio, for something greater than themselves. They understood that the promise of America was worth fighting for, even when that promise was not yet fully realized, even when they encountered racism in education and jobs. These fallen heroes, like Leonel Perez, U.S. Marine who served in Vietnam, remind us that patriotism comes in many languages, that courage knows no borders. The other day, on the last day of session in the California State Senate, we paused for each of the 82 Californians who have passed this last year. We owe them more than remembrance. That's why we supported legislation to assist the veterans for partial military retirement pay exemption from state income tax and for protections for veterans from predatory practices. Let us honor them by exercising the freedoms and the rights that they died defending. Let's honor them here at home, every day. The freedom and the right to have a good paying job. The freedom and the right to see a doctor when you're sick. The freedom to love whom you choose. The freedom to assemble, to speak, to protest, and to be heard. These are not abstractions. They are the living inheritance our veterans left us. We owe them our commitment to the America that they envisioned, where service is honored regardless of race, where opportunity is available to all, where the values they died defending are exercised freely, an America where you can walk the streets freely without fear of being kidnapped and illegally deported. Let us honor their memory by building the democracy, the inclusive democracy they fought to protect. Yes, freedom is not free, and its price has been paid by heroes we must never take for granted. Today, let us also pledge to make war the final resort to any conflict. Everyone who participates in making the decision should understand the pain of the war. The word sacrifice means someone died. It means we lost someone who will never know a full life, the birth of a child or a graduation. Their watch has ended. May we prove worthy of their sacrifice. Thank you very much. On behalf of the California State Senate, I want to present to Los Cinco Puntos in honor of their 80th anniversary of this Memorial Day celebration.
Up next, we have our Assembly Member, Mark Gonzalez. He was sworn in November 2024 and appointed Majority Whip. Mark represents California's 54th Assembly District, one of the state's most diverse districts, covering Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, Westlake, Downtown, Koreatown, Pico Union, Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Historic Filipino Town, and the cities of Vernon, Montebello, and Commerce. The son of a single mother who raised him in Section 8 housing, Mark knows firsthand the struggles of working families. After his mother suffered a stroke, he became her sole caregiver. That experience deepened his commitment to reforming healthcare, social services, and protection for seniors. Before joining the Assembly, Mark chaired the Los Angeles County Democratic Party and organized support for policies to make community college free, protect air and water, expand affordable housing, and address homelessness. He helped lead the effort to enshrine reproductive rights in California Constitution after the overturn of Roe v. Wade, and pushed for 25-hour minimum wage for healthcare workers. Driven by personal experience and community service, Mark continues to fight so no Californian has to endure the hardships of that his family face. Please help me welcome Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez, and I just wanted to thank you all. It's an honor to be here with each and every single one of you. I know I've been coming here close to 2 decades at this point. I just want to echo the comments of my colleague in the Senate, Senator Durazo, and thanking all of the volunteers and everybody and my colleagues in elected office for helping to make sure that today happened. It happened successfully, and many of you came out here to recognize not just the work, but to recognize those of us in Boyle Heights who made the sacrifices to be here with all of us today, and for organizing the meaningful gathering, for inviting me to be here at the Mexican American All Wars Memorial. This memorial stands as more than stone and bronze. It stands as a promise that we will remember. Today across our country and here in our community, we pause to honor the men and women who gave their lives in service to the United States of America. Memorial Day is not about politics, headlines, or division. It's about sacrifice. The true cost of war is not measured in budgets or in statistics. It's measured in empty seats at those dinner tables, in folded flags handed to grieving families, in birthdays missed, futures unrealized, and loved ones who never made it home. And that cost has touched every generation. Since California entered the Union in 1850, Californians have answered the call in every conflict this nation has faced. Young men and women, many not much older than the students and young women in the community today, stepped forward believing in something greater than themselves. They fought to protect not only our nation, but the promise of opportunity, freedom, and dignity for future generations. And for that, we owe them a debt that we can never fully repay. We do not remember a fallen solely for how they passed. We remember them for how they lived, for their courage, their humanity, their love of our country and families and communities that they left behind. And if we truly want to honor their memory, then our responsibility cannot end with ceremonies like this one. We must always stand with veterans who came home carrying the visible and invisible wounds of war as well. Because the truth is simple, service does not end when the uniform comes off. Our veterans deserve access to quality health care, mental health support, affordable housing, good paying jobs, and educational opportunities worthy of the sacrifices that they made. That is not charity, that is our obligation. And especially in moments like these when the world can feel uncertain and divided, Memorial Day reminds us of something deeper, that generations before us endured hardship, sacrifice, and struggle to preserve this democracy and move this country forward. Their courage challenges us to do the same, to be better neighbors, public servants, and better Americans, and to continue the unfinished work of building more perfect union. So today, let us remember the fallen not only with words, but with action. Let us carry their memory not just on Memorial Day weekend, but every day we have the privilege to live in the freedoms that they helped to defend. May we never forget their sacrifice. And I want to join my colleague, Senator Durazo, for recognizing 80 years of service, for providing us a resolution on behalf of the California State Assembly. Give this to you, Mr. Tony. Come on up here, my friend. I'm going to present this to you and folks on stage as well. Breland, you want to join me? Joe?
Eddie Morin is the son of Raul Morin. This sacred space is named after his father. It is known as the Raul Morin Memorial Square. This space was dedicated to soldiers of Mexican descent. The book Among the Valiant shares the stories of the brave men who were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Eddie Morin is a Purple Heart recipient and the author of Valor and Discord, Mexican Americans and the Vietnam War. He received over 20 air badges for flying in and rescuing soldiers during the Vietnam War.
This is a very special day, a momentous occasion where we celebrate the 79th or 80th anniversary of this monument. Started in 1946, completed in 1947. Mexican math, take your pick, you know. But I was here last Wednesday when John Franco from the City Conservation Corps was here installing it with his crew, you know. He got the plaque and he measured it and he leveled it and he took all the paints and then they anchored it down. They were here for a couple of hours and I was sure impressed by the professionalism. I think it's worth mentioning that the expense of the plaque was not paid for by the city or any other government agency. Mr. Vidal Herrera sprung for this money and he got cooperation from Sofia Quiñones. Mr. Herrera, due to the demands of his job, could not be here today, even though he's here in spirit. And his brother's memory, his brother died in Vietnam, his brother's memory is precious to him and it's important to us too.
That's more original than
You have to wonder,
us Americans.
what kind of person would steal the plaque, vandalize this place, and just have such disrespect? You know, I can assure you one thing: it was a person who didn't know the Lord. There was a person who didn't respect veterans, and it was a person who had no regard for the community. Obviously, a monument means different things to different people. During the 60s, the anti-war movement started their march right here against the war. And for me, for these hell no, we won't go type to choose this place to align themselves with the veterans was a height of hypocrisy. But on the other hand, they have that fundamental constitutional right. And who is it that protects these rights and fights to the death to preserve them? The veterans themselves. Is this a great country or what? I want to say some things about the monument. I hope I'll clear some things up. It was never intended to honor war. It wasn't intended to honor cafe society or the rich and famous. It wasn't intended to honor politicians or those who were politically connected. It wasn't intended to honor movie stars or even popular athletes. It had a more simple purpose, but honorable all the same. It was meant to honor our veterans, our veterans of Mexican descent.
Well said!
War is a tragedy in every sense of the word. Some of these guys that saw too much action when they came back, they were just so traumatized that they took to alcohol and drug in order to cope. And I want to say something right now, man. I'm not picking on them. I'm not judging. You know what? I'm not demeaning anybody's character today. They just went through a lot. They were really severely traumatized. I know what I'm talking about. I was wounded in Vietnam and I spent time in a hospital. And I saw burn cases. I saw paralyzed veterans. I saw blind veterans. I saw amputees. I saw the horrible effects when somebody stands on a landmine or walks in a booby trap. Right. Even bullet wounds were very seldom simple. They could produce ghastly results. All this has led me to conclude that war is horrible, should never be glorified. Anyways, we stand here today. I want to give honor to this memorial and its purpose. You know, the original purpose was to honor our Chicano veterans. And, We have a lot to be proud of. 42 Medal of Honor recipients. And I want the whole world to know, especially our youth, they're entitled to every benefit and blessing that this country has to offer because a very high price was paid to achieve that end. We honor their memory, we honor their service, and we want the whole world to know. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
I want these guys to unwrap the monument. There it is. This plaque is for the Americans of Mexican descent. Thank you.
Well said.
I got another hand for Vidal Herrera and Sofia Quiñones.
Awesome. Thank you, Lord, for making me a Chicano. Fuck yes.
So this plaque was
Everybody's
installed this
overcoming
Tuesday
us.
by the LA Conservation Corps and CD14. So thank you to everyone that made that possible for it to come up. And thank you, Mr. Monument. I would now like to bring up our keynote speaker. Staff Sergeant Keone Smith joined the Air Force Reserves at 18 years old. In August 2008, he was assigned to the 56th Aerial Port Squadron at March Air Force Reserve Base. In June 2009, he would deploy to Bagram Air Force Base, located in Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. January 2010, he deployed to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, in support of Operation Unified Response until June 2010. In December of 2010, Keone Smith would find himself at Sadr Air Base in Baghdad, Iraq, in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. In October 2012, he would also become a police officer with the Los Angeles Police Department. He would continue to participate as an Air Force reservist while serving a variety of communities in the city of Los Angeles. Staff Sergeant Keone Smith would finish a 9-year enlistment in 2016. During his time with the Air Force, he earned multiple medals and ribbons throughout his enlistment with the Air Force Reserves. Please help me welcome Staff Sergeant Keone Smith.
Hello, and thank you for coming out. I'm Keone Smith. I'm a police officer with the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm currently assigned to your Hollenbeck Area Patrol Division as a field training officer. I have been assigned to Hollenbeck Community Police Station since 2016. Prior to becoming a police officer, I was fortunate enough to serve this amazing country as an airman in the United States Air Force Reserves. I joined when I was 18 years old and served for a total of 9 years, when I received an honorable discharge at the end of my enlistment. During my tenure with the Air Force Reserves, I was fortunate not only to see many different countries around the world, but also fortunate to serve with many amazing everyday heroes, to include soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and of course, other airmen. I served with these heroes, mentors, and leaders in many different capacities. Some here in the United States, while others I served with in other countries like Japan, Germany, Haiti, Afghanistan, and Iraq. As any veteran could tell you, you hear a lot of stories about the history of the military and the heroes that served in it, and what it truly means to selflessly serve. The earliest example I can recall is during my first deployment to Bagram, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. While there, I was housed at Camp Cunningham, located within Bagram Air Base. The camp was named after Senior Airman Jason D. Cunningham, who was a pararescueman. For those that may not know, the motto which pararescuemen live by is "These things we do that others may live." On March 4th, 2002, Senior Airman Jason Cunningham was conducting a rescue mission as a search and rescue medic assigned to a quick reaction force. The mission was to save 2 other American service members evading enemy capture. It was at this time that they became involved in an intense firefight in the mountains of Afghanistan. It was during this mission that he paid the ultimate sacrifice. He was struck by a bullet while providing medical aid to another service member, where he suffered serious and life-threatening injuries. However, despite his own injury and being well aware of his condition, due to his medical training, he continued to provide aid to other service members, effectively rescuing and saving the life of 10 other people. Another story I learned of was that of Private Jacob Cruz, a Marine from right here in Boyle Heights. He was killed in action during the Battle of Tarawa in the Pacific Theater on November 22nd, 1943. He remained unidentified until 2019, when he was returned to Los Angeles and laid to rest at the Los Angeles National Cemetery. Or Staff Sergeant Alfredo Gonzalez, killed in action on February 4th, 1968, during the Tet Offensive in the Battle of Hue in Vietnam. Staff Sergeant Gonzalez would earn the Medal of Honor for his actions during the battle by leading his platoon to relieve besieged units. Lance Corporal Jose Gutierrez, who was a Los Angeles native and one of the first members killed in 2003 during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And last but not least, Staff Sergeant Robert J. Cottle, who was also a Los Angeles police officer and a SWAT team member who was killed by an IED in Afghanistan March 24th, 2010. These are just some of the stories of the everyday heroics performed around the world by service members of the United States of America. It is because of the sacrifices these heroes, along with the sacrifices of their brothers and sisters in arms, made, that we are fortunate enough to have the days like today and live the life we live. So let us take the time out of our day not only to celebrate our freedoms, but to memorialize their sacrifices.
Now I would also like to bring up our council member, Isabel Jurado. Isabel was born and raised in Highland Park to undocumented Filipino immigrants. Isabel is a single mother, former tenants' rights attorney, and committed affordable housing activist. She put herself through Pasadena City College and UCLA and earned her JD from UCLA School of Law with specializations in critical race studies and public interest law and policy. As an attorney, she fought evictions, defended small businesses and community organizations facing displacement, and worked to create pathways to home ownership for communities of color while advancing open space preservation and reparative justice. As council member, Isabel champions expanding affordable housing, ending homelessness, and supporting small business, confronting the climate crisis, and building a more and just economy for all. Please help me welcome Councilmember Isabel Jurado.
It's truly Buenos dias, Boyle Heights. Happy Memorial Day. It's truly an honor to be with you all at the 80th annual Memorial Day ceremony here in Boyle Heights. 80 years. Forever 80?
Yeah, 8. It's infinite.
It's infinite. 80 years. 80 years of veterans, families, and neighbors coming together to remember, to grieve, to honor, and make sure the people who sacrifice for this country are never forgotten. I'm Councilmember Isabel Jurado. I'm proud to represent Boyle Heights, our veterans, their families, and there couldn't be a more meaningful place than right here at Cinco Puntos.
The heart of America right here. Frickin' A.
El corazón, yes!
Oh, the Queen of Diamonds here.
This memorial honors generations of service members, many of them young men and women from our neighborhoods like this one, born to immigrant parents, raised by families that came to this country believing in opportunity and a better future. Young people who answer the call to serve and who are willing to fight for the promise of America, believing that this country could continue moving closer to its highest ideals, equal justice for all. And this place also became the starting point of the Chicano moratorium, where thousands gathered to demand that the lives, service, and sacrifices of Mexican Americans can be recognized and valued. So this space carries both truths, service and sacrifice, but also the courage to speak up and insist that every community deserves to be seen and heard and represented.
Thank Ruben Salazar too for that.
Today we remember those who gave their lives in service to our country. Behind every name we honor was a person, someone's child, someone's parent, someone's sibling, someone's friend. People with their own dreams and who made extraordinary sacrifices so that we could have our own. And we also honor these families who carry those memories forward, because for every person that sacrificed their lives, their wives, their spouses, their kids have also made the ultimate sacrifice. And that's a loss that we feel profoundly today. And so for the families of all of our service members, current and past, I really want to say thank you for sharing your family member with us. Because I know my friends, the countless nights that their husbands were away and worrying about whether they would come back or get that one call the next day. And likewise for those that serve locally in our neighborhoods, how their wives and their children and their parents also feel that fear every single night. And that's not something we name all the time, and yet something that have to honor as well today, especially in the memories of those that we've lost. And so, with this day, with this memorial, I'm especially proud that my office will help from our dedicated Conservation Corps crew, will also help in covering the installation of the new commemorative plaque in time for today's ceremony, and help ensure this memorial stands restored and renewed for future generations. We did that with our community, and that's what Boyle Heights does. We make sure that those who came before us are remembered, and we make sure the next generation knows whose shoulders that they stand on. And I know I myself, I may not be from Boyle Heights. I'm a Filipino-American girl whose parents were undocumented coming here, that's able to serve in front of you because of the service of your family members and those before me. And this is what this memorial means to honor to all of us.
But God is with you because you're a Catholic. Like God.
Well, may perpetual light shine upon all of our fallen soldiers and family members. I want to recognize the people who carry this tradition forward. For 80 years, people who have shown up to organize, volunteer, and ensure that Boyle Heights never forgets. And at this time, I'm honored to recognize Garfield High School, JROTC. We have certificates for you. They left already. Detective Chris Reza. Veterans of the Foreign Wars Post 1013. Veterans of Foreign Wars Post. Okay. American Legion Post 804. MCL Detachment 1347. Garfield, over here, sir. Of course, Eddie Morin. I think we have some Morinistas in the house, huh? Joe Diaz. Where's Joe? Thank you, Joe, for continually putting this on together. And of course, Tony Zapata.
Wow! Awesome!
Thank you all.
So our Congressman Jimmy Gomez sends his regrets in not being able to attend. However, we do have one of his representatives here to come and present something.
He lost out.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Bass. I'm here on behalf of Congressman Gomez to read out this congressional record commemorating the 80th anniversary of the Cinco Puntos Mexican-American All Wars Memorial Day service.
Full American! The real, raw American!
For the past 80 years, this ceremony has stood as a sacred tradition of remembrance, unity, and gratitude. What began in the aftermath of World War II has become a living testament to the enduring spirit of a community that honors the sacrifice of its servicemen and women with dignity and pride. Generation after generation, families, veterans, neighbors, and civic leaders have gathered here to reflect on the cost of freedom and to ensure that those who gave their lives in service to our nation are never forgotten. This milestone anniversary is not only a celebration of history, but a reaffirmation of the values of courage, service, and community that define Boyle Heights. As we commemorate the 80th anniversary of this cherished ceremony, we pay tribute to the veterans whose bravery shaped our nation and to the organizers and community members who have preserved this meaningful tradition for decades. Memorial Day reminds us that remembrance is a collective responsibility. By honoring the past, we must also remind future generations to uphold the ideals of sacrifice, compassion, and unity. And with that, I would like to bring up Jenny and Mr. Zapata and Joe and present this congressional record to them.
All right, Zapata! The foundation is there right there. The base. Never be a people pleaser, Zapata. Never be you. That's genuine. That's a hard diamond. Unbreakable. Transparent.
Our next guest is Assemblywoman Jessica Caloza. She was sworn in December 2024 as Assistant Majority Whip. Jessica represents California's 57th District, South Glendale, East LA, and Northeast. A proud immigrant and lifelong public servant, she worked on education policy in the Obama administration, held senior roles in the LA Mayor's office, served as a public works commissioner leading infrastructure and good-paying union jobs, and was a deputy chief of staff of the Attorney General at the California Department of Justice. In the Assembly, she's fighting to lower the cost of building affordable housing, invest in public schools, support small businesses, protect reproductive rights, and is the lead on climate action. A UC San Diego graduate and the first Filipina elected to the state legislature, Jessica lives in Eagle Rock with her family. Please help me welcome Assemblymember Jessica Caloza.
Hi everybody, good morning. It's an honor to be here with you today. My name is Jessica Caloza. I'm proud to be the Assembly Member for District 52, proud to represent Northeast LA, East LA, South Glendale. And as we gather here today, I know that it is an incredibly solemn day and weekend for so many of you, so many of us in the community, as we honor the brave men and women who have served in the armed forces, your loved ones, our neighbors. So thank you for the opportunity to honor them today. Before I begin, I did want to just give a big thank you to all the organizers and every single person who put so much time and energy for gathering the community every single year. Detective Chris Reza, VFW Post 1013, American Legion 804, MCL Detachment 1347, Eddie Morin, Vidal Herrera, Joe Diaz, Commander Tony Zapata. Can we give them all a round of applause?
Yes, we love!
This year's gathering carries a special significance as we also recognize the 80th anniversary of this historic memorial monument, a sacred place that for generations has stood as a tribute to the courage, sacrifice, and patriotism of service members who gave their lives in defense of our nation. For 80 years, this memorial has stood as a powerful symbol of American service and sacrifice, shaped by the rich cultural legacy, patriotism, and enduring contributions of the Mexican American community and all the communities who have answered the call to serve our nation. For generations, families and neighbors have gathered here in remembrance, reflection, and gratitude to ensure that those who served and sacrificed are never forgotten. And we know that for so many of you here today, that this is more than a holiday or a long weekend. Memorial Day is a solemn reminder of the cost of freedom. And it's a day to pause and reflect on the women and men who never made it home. Those who put service above self and gave everything for this country. Behind every name we honor today is a story, a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, a friend, a neighbor, a young person with dreams and hopes and loved ones waiting for them. And behind every fallen service member is a family that continues to carry both pride and grief long after these ceremonies end. To the Gold Star families today, we honor you and carry your loved ones in our hearts. We also know how deeply personal it is today with you and having to relive a really traumatic time for your family, having lost a loved one. In the work that I have the incredible privilege of doing on behalf of our community in the California State Assembly, we have worked really hard to ensure that we not only remember your loved ones, but we make real meaningful commitments and investments in our veterans and the military families. The state has eliminated state income taxes on military retirement pay and survivor benefit plan payments. Meaningful veterans and surviving spouses can exclude up to $20,000 per year from their taxable income. For a family who's already navigating the complexities of life after service, this matters. We have also funded county veteran service offices to employ accredited veteran service representatives to help veterans file claims and navigate the federal benefit system, securing millions of dollars in disability and pension benefits for people who earn them. And there is also important work moving through the legislature now that I am proud to support. Senate Bill 54, which would ensure that veterans' disability compensation cannot be used against them when applying for housing. Senate Bill 621 would ensure that military and overseas voters' ballots are counted if postmarked by Election Day, even if they arrive up to 3 days late, because service members deployed abroad should never lose their right to vote.
That's right.
These are just some of the actions we are taking at the state level to ensure that we are serving those who have made every sacrifice for all of us. And I believe that the truest way to honor those who have died in service to our country is to continue to follow those words with action in the work that we do every day to make this country and our community a better place. So to those who have served, thank you for your service. To all those who have fallen, we continue to remember you and honor you. And to the families who carry your love, your loss, and your sacrifice forward, we also honor you and to continue the fight alongside you, fighting to make sure that we leave this world a better place. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
We also need to make sure that we remember our VFW post 1013, our American Legion post 804, and the MCL detachment 1347. So thank you all for helping make this possible. We will now have our retirement of colors by Garfield High School, JROTC.
What's Santa Muerte doing here? Get her out of here!
Please rise if you are able.
First Sergeant, permission to retire the colors. Thank you, First Sergeant. Retire the colors. March.
Artificial life based on the truth. Gucci. Gaga. The Lord. All.
Please hold.
Genuine lady.
Present. Army.
Do we have Roosevelt High School? We'll be presenting taps. I would now like to take a moment to observe a moment of silence. So if you would please bow your heads and observe this moment with us. Thank you all very much. I would now like to bring up Monsignor John Woolley from Our Lady of the Rosary of Talpa.
Father, you are the creator of all and you are the lover of all. Our loved ones who have died in war, Lord, we entrust to you, to your eternal peace and happiness. Thank you for their sacrifice. Bless them for what they gave for all of us. Again, help us use our freedoms in the right way to open our hearts to all people, that we may know that this land we walk on, and not forget our indigenous brothers and sisters who walked this land before many of us came here and still walk this land. And just help us to love each other as your Son has loved us, who gave his life for us. Bless our time together and keep us always in your peace. Y pedimos esta bendición en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén.
You may now be seated. So today, of course, wouldn't have been possible without many, many people working extremely hard to make this day. One of the people that we want to recognize and make sure that we thank is Mr. Joe Diaz. Boyle Heights, born and raised. Over the decades, he has attended since he was a child with his father here. His father was a Vietnam veteran and is buried at Riverside National Cemetery. Thank you, Joe, for all of your assistance. We also have Ms. Julie Sands. She's a longtime director and producer of the Memorial Day and Veterans Day. She is author of War Dad, 5-time author with 5 Amazon bestsellers, award-winning realtor from an El Pollo Loco franchisee to the founder of Shake It Up Now, a personal and business transformation company. Julie has spent years empowering women and small business owners to succeed while remaining grounded at home. She's also the host of Imagínate with Julie Sands on All Access Broadcasting and a sought-after speaker and mentor. Julie's leadership, energy, and decades of service to this community have helped keep this ceremony alive and meaningful year after year. We're honored to thank her for her dedication over 14 years of service putting this together. She continues to be dedicated to the veterans community through her book, War Dad. Thank you so much, Julie. We also want to thank Mr. Tony Zapata for his many years of dedication to our veterans communities. And our veterans community, of course, we know holds no boundaries, no bounds, and he goes wherever his service is needed. So we thank him very much. We welcome him for a few more words.
Thank you very much. I wanted to thank Julie Sands over here for 15 years that he helped us put this thing together. And when she left, I didn't know it was so much work till I started trying to do it myself. Julie, thank you so much for all your help. Thank you.
We also want to recognize and take a moment to remember the vigil that just occurred. For the past 24 hours, as of 10 a.m., people were standing watch. That included veterans groups and community groups. So thank you to all of those who stood grounds and stood watch for our brothers and sisters on the call. We also want to acknowledge Post 804 American Legion. They will have a get-together right after this event, just down the street, so if anyone would like to come and join, they have food and refreshments for us all. I would also like to thank the Taiwanese Veterans Group. Also, we would like to thank Christina Romero, Arthur Ramirez, Garfield High School JROTC, Roosevelt High School, playing our tabs, Boyle Heights Tech center, Monsignor John Woolley, Chris Reza, Tony Zapata, Joe Diaz, Eddie Morin, Vidal Herrera, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 1013, American Legion Post 804, Ms. Julie Sands, MCL Detachment 1347, and the card clubs as well that came to assist us. Ray and Corporal Randy Castillo, Custom Oldies, Imperial's Card Club, Old Memories Card Club, Lifestyle Card Club, Ghetto Lifestyle Card Club, Superior Card Club, Spirit Card Club, Barrio Boys Card Club, and also the booths that we have are the El Sereno Bicentennial Committee. We have Rally Bulldog with his art exhibit and memorabilia. Make sure you check that out. It is fantastic, and it was quite a mission to get that to come here today. Before we close out, we have a ribbon that we would like to have placed. From Post 804. Thank you very much for that. We would also like to thank our drum circle that came out today to support the event. So thank you all very much.